Hello, my friends. This is the art of prepping. I hope everyone's doing good today. I got thinking about overthinking. I overthink quite a bit. I don't know about you, but I do know quite a few people who have the same issue. And it seems to be a fairly common problem for a lot of adults. They just think over and over and over about stuff. They get stuck on things. They ruminate. And actually, kids have the same issue. So this is something that, is ongoing with a lot of different people of all ages. And so I have three things and a bonus item here to kind of help us get a little bit unstuck and to keep from overthinking as much as we do. And a lot of this happens to be, revolving around habits. We get into a habit of doing things. We get into a habit of spending a lot of time thinking and not being productive in the real world. Now, I'm not saying that thinking in general is bad. Obviously not. But you can sometimes think so much that you're never doing anything. And so in that sense that you can think to a point that you're not really allowing yourself any kind of time and or resources to get things done. So the first thing I want to say that helps me a lot is to stay physically active. And this helps me to ground myself and when I'm doing, various activities. And that gets me out of my head. So the more that I stay into a project that is kinesthetic, like physical, that I'm engaged with something, it could be with other people, it could be whatever, but yeah, definitely just doing something in the real world is going to really help you kind of pull yourself out of your inside world and kind of be in the world so that you can get things done. The second thing is to have a schedule. Like, it doesn't have to be very rigid, it doesn't have to be like every hour of the day is allotted to something. What I like to do sometimes is just a loose schedule. That's at least what I call it. And that is sometimes just even taking a piece of scrap paper and just writing a few things that I want to do that day. And then I'll kind of configure it. So I'll say, well, sometime in the morning, I want to do this. And then sometime in the afternoon, I want to do this. And it does help to kind of have like a range. Like, okay, between like 8 a.m. and 10 p.m., I'm going to start this. And what I typically do is I just start as early as possible. That's what I typically do. But it's good to have kind of a range there. And what I've also noticed is that I give myself time to think. Because you don't want to deny yourself time to think completely, though. Just because you overthink about things doesn't mean that you don't want to say, oh, I'm not allowed to think about anything from here on out. Thinking is not the enemy. It's just the excessive nature of how we think. At least that's, for a lot of us, that's our problem. And so what I've done is like not only give myself kind of a rough outline of, when I'm going to do things, but also when I'm going to think about think. So, for example, maybe like after lunch, I give myself like 30 minutes to an hour to think about different things or to maybe look for certain solutions to certain problems in my life or whatever it is. And so that's a pretty good amount of time, 30 minutes to an hour. That should be a plenty to kind of at least get something done, right, in terms of thinking. And then you have the rest of the day that you can just do other things. Now, if you still need more time to think out real problems that you have in your life, maybe later in the day, you give yourself another 30 minutes to an hour, whatever is appropriate for you. Once again, it's not good to be overly rigid about all this. It's just to have balance in your day and in your life. So stay physically active and try to ground yourself as much as possible. Have a schedule and to schedule time to think about things. And lastly, I found that when you communicate with others, man, you really do increase your odds that you are going to get out of your head. And also what I've found is that, when you go somewhere different, like just going somewhere different or new for you or meeting someone, for the first time, is also like a really good way to pull your awareness out of inside your head and kind of be more alert and kind of be more in the moment in the world. And once again, I'm not saying that like, being in your head is a bad thing per se. But then there's a lot of us that only stay in our heads and we daydream a lot, or we just think about the same things over and over. We get stuck. So I'm talking about more like that. But yeah, definitely, when you communicate with others in person, I wouldn't recommend just texting with someone. That's not going to typically do it. But it really seems to be best when I'm in like person-to-person contact, like, meeting people in person. It seems like I'm a lot more engaged with them and the environment that way. And once again, just going somewhere that's different or new, it has a whole profound effect because you have all this new stimuli and you kind of like just taking it all in. It's almost like when we were kids, right? Or we were really young kids and the whole world was a mystery to some degree. Like we were just trying to figure it all out. And we're just kind of looking around, just soaking it in. You're just like, wow, look at that. Look at that. I wonder how that works, and, you're just like surrounded by all this newness, and then the older you get, things aren't so new, or, you kind of seen that before, or you've seen at least a variation of it before. And you're not like so compelled to just stare at it for an hour or whatever. You're just kind of like, okay, I understand how cars work, because maybe when you're a little kid, you could just be like, wow, there's this like machine that goes by, or there's these things in the sky, planes or whatever, or even animals can be very mysterious to kids or just kind of like mesmerizing. And so, but the older you get, the more you kind of just like normalize all this, or you start to understand it, or you kind of have basically, less mystery attached to it. And so I find that the older we get, though, the more that we have to just be conscious of, things are not so fresh and so new, if you will. But there's a lot of stuff out there that we still don't know. So keep on searching and learning about that, right? Learn about those things. And in the meantime, though, while it's okay to think about things and to be in your head for some time, you don't really probably want to be in your head the whole day or hours and hours at a time. Especially if you're kind of just stuck on one thing or you're just kind of chewing on one subject matter. I'm not so sure how healthy that is. Unless you're an academic person, then that's your job to really, hyper analyze some type of subject matter. That might be a little different, but even then, it probably is really beneficial to have a lot of breaks and to kind of break away from being in your head and getting out of your head, because most people do much better and they're much more productive when they're not just hyper focused on just one thing. And so that's kind of how it is also with creativity. The less rigid we are, the more open we can be. So, hey, thanks for checking the video out. Catch you later. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for your support.